Welcome to this week's tutorial. I'm so happy you're here. This is a tutorial you're not going to want to miss. I'm so stoked. It's going to be based off of the reference photo that my sister-in-law took while she was backpacking in Switzerland. And it's gorgeous. So we're going to get started. This is part of my landscape watercoloring book. If you don't have it already, go get it. I'll link it in the comments. There's 25 original outlines that I have done, and then I take you through how to paint them. So, kind of covers all the bases if you're new to painting. So, first thing we're going to do is mix a few colors that we're going to put in the mountain range. As you can see, these rocks that are in the picture have so many different colors. We have some lights, some creams, we have orange, purple, some pinks even. So we're mixing those together. Luckily the cream is already in the palette that is available for purchase on my website, so I'll link that as well. And then I'm using red and then just adding a little bit of purple and a little bit of blue into this second color. And I do want kind of the purple to take over a little more because, as you can see in the picture, there is a good amount of purple in those mountain ranges. So then we grab the orange and red. The red is pretty vibrant, so you're going to neutralize it by putting a little bit of green, and that will darken it. Yeah, so with watercolor, we work from lights to darks. So what you're gonna do is grab your cream, your almost skin color, and it has a lot of water, but you're just gonna kind of put that color throughout the whole majority of the mountain, and then we'll start dropping the colors in a minute. All right, if you decide you want to just simplify and put this base color on the whole entire cliff, you totally can. I think I just decided to do sections to help with those contrast areas. So I'm about done. I'm just doing the last few things where I see the brighter areas of the mountain. And then we're gonna start adding in some color. If you are behind, as you can see on the video, this is sped up quite a bit. So please pause where you need to where you feel caught up. This is take it at your own pace. So I grabbed the purple and I'm dropping it in on the top and just very loosely kind of filling in that section that I left out. Luckily, I have a really great map for you to use. You're not really guessing a whole lot. You're just filling in those areas that I have drawn out for you. So I'm doing purple first, and this is still wet, so these colors are kind of blending together. So this top, you just saw me do a drag and drop, which basically I put the color on top, and then I grab my clean brush and I pulled that color down to where it's not all the way purple. You can still see that yellow show through. But here we go with this lower area. Kind of moving around. As you can see in the picture, that's a really dark spot in the cliff range, or the mountain range cliff waterfall. Right there by that tree. And then we'll come up to the top and do some more purple. Now we're adding in some red. Just in those a few spots. So this one is going up in kind of the creviced area of that cliff that you see, and then towards the base of the mountain. And then we'll bleed together some of the purple and the red. All right, we're about ready for the orange. I kind of blended it with the purple a little bit to make it less vibrant, but I'm kind of just dropping in very roughly, and it is quite a bit diluted. It's not your like straight orange. There's a lot of water. So you're kind of putting it in where you see it in the picture. Not perfect, very loose. Now we're bringing in a little bit more of that orange towards the bottom of up top. Bring it on the side. Just kind of put it where you feel like you see it in the picture. Maybe do some of those, like, you hear artists sometimes say, like, look at it cross-eyed. It sounds so dumb, but when you like purposely make your eyes go blurry looking at a picture, it gives you those shapes, those loose shapes that you can just fill in color. So when I do that, I see some chunks in the top right corner, a little bit on the bottom, and on the left side by the waterfall. So grab some gray and we're just muting some of these, kind of going over some of those areas. All right, I mixed a darker purple, similar shade to what we already have, but I'm just adding in some contrast. The picture has some dark areas, so that's where those purples come in, but I am going to add in some more reds that you don't really see, but I love color. I think it's beautiful. So here we have some brighter oranges coming in on the top. All right, so with these red colors I'm bringing in, and really with everything else, I'm not doing these huge strokes. It's not looking smooth. A lot of what I'm doing is just dabbing, dropping in color, letting the water do its thing. Um, this will help create some texture in your cliff because the cliff is very rocky, and so I'm trying to show some texture. All right, I think that's a really great place to stop, and then we'll come back and do some finishing touches with that cliff. So we're gonna mix a green. I did yellow and green. It's really light. You can see the yellow coming through on the photo in the grass. So we're kind of just diluting it down with water and putting a base layer down. Nothing too crazy, lots of water. We're just trying to lay it down quick. And then once you have that, we're gonna add in some color. So this is just a really light green, gray, I mean green, yellow, and then we're adding in a little bit more of a dense yellow in those areas that you see in the picture. So in that middle area, down towards the bottom, and then we're gonna bring some green and drop it in where you see it. So all of this is happening while it's still wet. So there's a lot of blending happening, very loose. So kind of that shadow area, we're gonna bring some more. You see how that's already adding in some depth and some, like, just showing that it's a hill, because grass is not the same color everywhere. There is different colors coming through. So now that we have that, what we're gonna do is get ready to do the tree. So it's similar colors with, you can kind of see we're gonna start by doing a lighter color up top, and then as we move down, we'll start introducing some darker greens. But we're just kind of doing a dabbing method through the whole thing. You can leave some white space. Um, but really, you can see I'm just like very light pressure dabbing around. It's actually pretty watered down as well, and just moving through. So now it's time to start mixing in some more colors, doing the exact same dabbing technique. You're just kind of mixing it in with the lighter yellow, green in those shaded areas of the tree. So if you run out of green, you just can do your green from the palette, and if you want it darker, you add the complementary color. So you can add purple or red to kind of muddy it up, darker, more foresty colors. Doing that towards the middle. And the dimension is already coming together really beautifully. We can do our base layer and then we'll come back and do even more. But this is looking great so far. All right, now once we have that, we can grab a brown and come in and do the tree trunk. Now, because this is the base layer of the tree, and we're gonna probably most likely add more on, I'm not too stressed if the brown bleeds in a little bit with the green. You can try your best to where it doesn't do it super intense, but a little bit of brown mixed in with green here and there is gonna look just fine. All right, now that the branches and everything are in, you can add in some more to fill in those blank areas. And then to add just a little bit more interest, you can layer those leaves. So just do more dabbing with a different color throughout the whole thing. So we're bringing in some yellows, which is looking so pretty. And then once we're done with the tree, we're gonna go straight into the top of that cliff where you see those dark, dark trees at the top. All right, now we're mixing this brown and I'm gonna put it more toned purple. So you can add some purple in or even like some blue and red to where it's as dark and dense as you want it. And then we're just gonna go along the top and fill in where the outline says to. So very rough, light pressure. If you like it, just that one shade, you totally can leave it. Or if you want to bring in some of the colors that you see in the cliff, you can do that too. So I'm grabbing some green and putting in just random vertical strokes of green up top, kind of to show that it's trees and bushes. Then I'm gonna grab the diluted brown that we have made, or if you already used it all, then just make a new little puddle of it, and we're just gonna fill in the areas that we missed on the cliff, adding in some more dimension, bringing in all the colors to where it just flows nicely. I'm not adding a whole lot. I'm really just kind of those super bright areas in the cliff, I'm running over them very lightly to where everything feels united. And believe it or not, we're pretty close to being done. All that we have left is the water and then bringing in some of those red trees and the sky, which all of those are techniques that you've already learned in this video. So next thing is the waterfall. So basically, once you fill in the rest of the cliff, you can mix a purple or a blue and dilute it down with water. This is going to be very light, very fluffy looking, and you're just going to be doing some vertical strokes, not completely straight, but kind of flowy to go with the waterfall. And then you're gonna grab your water and buff it out a little bit, and that's all we're gonna do. See how simple that is? And it looks so pretty. Next thing we're gonna do is the sky. I'm just grabbing a blue and doing a little bit in the waterfall, but then I'm just putting it up above. If you want to have this bright, vibrant sky, just put it dense up on the paper. But I like to have the top be pretty dense in color, and then as it goes down, you gradually dilute the water, you blend it down. It's super easy. What you're gonna do is just put a stroke of blue and then get your clean brush with water and then pull it down. That's all. And then if you want to add a little bit more blue as you go, just drop it in where you want it. See how it's coming together? Okay, our last step is the tree. So we're grabbing some really beautiful dark red and starting to do those little tiny dabbing methods. These are further back, so it's gonna be a little more loose, not by much. But look how pretty. Ooh, love that. Okay, once you have those, you are done. If you want to do some last minute finishing touches, bringing in some more browns, some more darker browns to your branches, to your tree trunk, and even a little bit more greenery for your tree, you can totally do that. But I'm so proud of you. This is a hard painting and you did it. It may not look exactly how you want, but it's a really great first step and I hope you're proud of yourself. So, yeah, thank you so much for supporting me. And if you haven't already, go check out the watercoloring book. You will love it.